welcome. My name is Andrew Ottman. I serve as Vice President for Marketing and Communications here at Middle Tennessee State University. I do want to extend a welcome to those of you joining us in person here in the Campus Recreation Center, just a few yards away from the WAMAC Commons site, where we are breaking ground on yet another significant development for our campus. Welcome also today for those who are joining us through True Blue TV's broadcast of today's ceremony on our cable and streaming channels and social media. WAMAC Commons represents a unique public-private partnership with Middle Tennessee State University and the Annex Group, our first such venture. This $56 million, 554-bed, 161,000 square foot housing development will serve the growing demand for additional student housing on our campus. And maybe just as exciting, this project includes a new $27 million parking structure just south of where we're building this new hall, with 541 spaces and about 50 extra in an adjacent lot. It's going to be welcome for this neighborhood that's growing by leaps and bounds. This innovative public-private partnership would not have been possible without the visionary leadership of our president, Dr. Sidney A. McPhee. Dr. McPhee became our 10th president in 2001, and he has presided over one of the most remarkable periods of progress and growth at our university. Since President McPhee's arrival, MTSU has surpassed the $2 billion mark in new construction and renovation on this campus, especially once we add these projects to the total. I think that's an applause point, right? Let's give that a round of applause. Dr. McPhee has led to the increased enrollment of high-ability students. He's added more than 40 academic programs, 2 colleges, and 20 institutes and centers. MTSU, under his leadership, has been ranked by the Princeton Review as one of the nation's top colleges in the nation for 7 consecutive years. And it goes without saying, he is our longest-serving chief executive officer in the 115-year history of our university. This, ladies and gentlemen, marks his 25th year as our leader. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Dr. Sidney A. McPhee.
Good morning. Thank you, Andrew, and welcome, as I always say, to the beautiful campus of Middle Tennessee State University. Ladies and gentlemen, this is truly yet another very special day on our campus. It is indeed an honor to welcome you to our campus today as we officially launch the construction of WAMAC Commons, our new student residential complex, the first new housing project in more than 25 years on this beautiful campus. Today's groundbreaking for this housing complex and our new parking. I'll get off script here because I hear a lot from our students and some parents calling saying, we can't find parking on this campus. Well, ladies and gentlemen, when this university was established in 1911, there were complaints about parking on the campus. So I'm sure our students are going to be really excited with this new parking garage that we will. It really reflects our commitment to enhancing the quality of our student life and fostering a sense of family, community that our campus is known for. In total, you've heard a little statistics from Andrew, but in total, this project will result in about an $83 million investment on this campus when it's completed. At this time, allow me to recognize some very special guests that we have. As always, we are pleased to have with us members of our Board of Trustees, and with Chairman Smith. With the members of our Board of Trustees, would you stand? Let's recognize you for your leadership at this great university. Thank you. If we have any elected officials, I would like for you, or former elected official, and I'm looking at you, two senators sitting next to each other, would you all stand in great support of our university? Any others? We have our provosts and vice presidents and deans. You all do the work. You all are the A group. Would you stand? Let's recognize you for your leadership. We also have with us the contractors, the architects, all those associated with this construction, the student housing project and the parking garage. Would you stand? And you'll be hearing from a few in a moment, but I'd like to have these folks stand, including our campus planning staff, who are absolutely the best in the business. Thank you all for the excellent work that you do. Our university communities are often defined by many things: student, faculty, staff, facilities, and all those things are important components of a vibrant campus. However, an area that often receives very little attention, and I think it is critical to our students' overall experience, is the residential living and housing. Residence halls and the sense of community and connection they create are important contributors to student satisfaction, engagement, and success. Countless studies have linked a student experience on an on-campus residence or apartment to their overall perception of the institution of choice, and this experience is correlated, ladies and gentlemen, with a greater college persistence and higher graduation rates. Moving into a residential community is often the first time a student has the opportunity to live on their own and manage their time and their resources. Residence life enables students to develop interpersonal skills, build a greater sense of independence and personal responsibility, and often serve as a starting point for lifelong relationships with both fellow students and their alma mater. And as this project came to fruition, I learned something new about our campus history, a fact that neither I nor my staff was really aware of until we started looking into this. Anyone who knows anything about our campus is well aware of the many contributions of the Womack family, a name synonymous with excellence in our university community for many generations. Today, we're introducing to you another branch of the Womack family. The site we are on today, and that we'll be building our facility, was originally the horse and mule farm of Mr. Dick Womack, one of the Middle Tennessee equine industries leaders in the 1900s. His family home was on that site, as Womack Lane originally led from Main Street to their residence. And after selling the farm to the university, the original home was converted to a duplex for a new faculty, and in a strange twist of fate, one of the earliest occupants, you all will know this name, was Dr. Bob Womack and his family. Can you believe that? And the Womack family is here again. Would all you stand again and let us thank you for the great tradition. So it's fitting that our newest community will honor the broad legacy of the Womack family. I suspect, like the Womacks, many of the students who come to MTSU and have the opportunity to live in this incredible community will develop their own love for university, for this great university, and enjoy a lifelong connection to it. That's what happened when development means to our students and to our university. So with today's groundbreaking, we are demonstrating our commitment to maintaining a very high-quality, student-focused culture on this campus. Our student survey consistently show that their academic experience is unrivaled, and creating this new home for our students will help ensure their lives and social experience are equally unmatched. Meeting the needs of today's highly informed students require not only academic programs, outstanding academic programs, but also facilities and services of a similar higher caliber. And once completed, the Womack Commons will place our program and our facility among the region's best and provide our students with a high-quality home away from home. We celebrate this important development in the student and the university life. But I can assure you, ladies and gentlemen, it's not the end. Today's celebration is just the beginning of a new chapter in the success of our great university. And I'd like, at this time, as I conclude my remarks, I have two very special friends that came from all the way from Hawaii to spend a day with the Sidney McPhee. My good friend, the Higas, Debbie and Milton, would you all stand, my house guests from Hawaii. Thank you all for joining us today, and have a wonderful day on the most beautiful campus on this part of heaven. Thank you.
Thank you, President McPhee. Our Board of Trustees provides the university with strategic vision and leadership that makes possible like developments that we're celebrating today. Leading our board is our chairman, a proud MTSU alum, a Hall of Fame baseball pitcher for the Blue Raiders, and a businessman who knows a few things about building buildings. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Chairman Steve Smith.
It's an honor and a pleasure to represent the Board of Trust today, and how thrilled we are to have our first private-public partnership. I think it's a way of the future for most universities and certainly for ours. It also gives me great pleasure that it's named after the Womacks, who have been close family friends all my life, and what you've done for the university can't be measured by just the name, and I want to thank you for that. So on behalf of the board, I want to thank you for being here and taking your time, and we look forward to having 500 fresh students on campus soon. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chairman Smith. Our system of residence halls is overseen by our Division of Student Affairs. And this system, an auxiliary of the university, requires that it operates like a business, sustaining its operations through the revenues it generates. It is a tightly run ship and an efficiently run ship. Leading the Division of Student Affairs is our interim Vice President and Dean of Students. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Dr. Danny Kelly.
Good morning. Greetings, President McPhee, Board of Trustees, Chair Smith, trustees, staff, faculty, community members, and most importantly, our students who will directly benefit from this impressive living and learning residence facility in just a little over a year. As I have viewed the blueprints, looked over the renderings, attended meetings where decisions were made regarding all the amenities and features going into Womack Commons, and watched the project take shape, one word always came to mind: wow. Wow, how impressive. What an incredible place this will be for current students and future generations of students to live, grow, connect, and learn. Our students deserve this new home away from home. This new facility will greatly enhance their on-campus student life experience. It will foster a higher level of student belonging. It will serve as a community where lifelong friendships will be made and will elevate our students to further grow and develop. As President McPhee mentioned earlier, and I think it's worth underscoring, research continues to support the notion that living on campus also contributes to higher levels of student satisfaction, involvement, academic success, retention, and graduation rates. I am confident that students living in the new Wilmette Commons will greatly advance these objectives. In sharing some of the details with current students, some of the feedback they shared included comments such as, "It's going to be beautiful and our students are going to love it." Another said, "Being steps away from the rec center and student union will be so cool." And one had a question: will we be building more of them with all that available land? And I've told them, let's hold tight and see how this first project goes. I would also be remiss if I didn't again acknowledge the great work of the campus planning team and committee who have worked so diligently to ensure every small detail of this project is positioned to provide our students with a beautiful place to live, learn, and prosper. If you served on this committee, please stand so you can again be recognized. The opening of the fall 2027 academic year will be like no other, when we will be able to greet our new Wilmette Commons residents with the words, "Welcome to your brand new home away from home." Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Kelly. Let's give Dr. Kelly and the Division of Student Affairs another round of applause. Improving the quality of life of our students as well as enhancing their experience while on our campus has been a top priority of R.J. Ware, our student body president. He's a dynamic leader, a member of the president's cabinet, and his values and his input and his perspective are greatly admired and appreciated. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome President Ware.
Good morning. We talk a lot about growth, about vision, and about the future of our university, but today we get to see another great project begin. This is not just about construction, this is a commitment to the students who are here and the thousands that will call it home in the years ahead. As SGA president, I have the privilege of hearing directly from students every day and what they need, what they want, and what makes them feel connected to this campus. And one thing comes up over and over again. Students want to feel like they belong here, not just attend class here, not just live here, but truly feel they are a part of this campus community. That sense of belonging doesn't just happen on its own. It is shaped by the spaces we create. Wilmette Commons is going to be not just a residence hall, it is going to be a place where friendships are formed, where late night conversations turn into lifelong connections, and most importantly, where students will find their people. It is where a student might arrive nervous and unsure, and by the end of the term, they found a home. Getting involved is what that sense of belonging really takes shape, whether it's joining a student organization, attending events, stepping into leadership roles, or simply showing up and meeting new people. Involvement creates connection. It gives students purpose beyond the classroom, and it helps them build confidence, friendships, and experiences that will stay with them long after graduation. Spaces like Walmart Commons make that possible by bringing students together and creating opportunities for those everyday interactions that matter more than we often realize. When students feel comfortable in their environment, when they feel connected to the people around them, they are more likely to get involved, join organizations. They will show up to events. They'll build relationships with faculty, staff, and administration. And most importantly, they begin to see this university not just as a place they attend, but as a community they're a part of. That is what today is really about. It is about building something that students will not just use, but genuinely enjoy. A space they will be proud of, and a space they will miss when they graduate. And to everyone who has played a role in making this project possible, I say on behalf of a grateful student body, thank you. Your work is going to have a lasting impact, even if you never meet the students whose lives will be shaped by it. And to the students, both current and future, this is for you. This is an investment in your future, in your experience, in your connections, and your sense of belonging here at this great university. And I cannot wait to see the space come to life and the generations of Blue Raiders that will call it home. Thank you.
Thank you, President Ware. I just want to have a side note here. Our Student Government Association has a proud tradition of selfless leadership to where the current set of leaders are always thinking about projects and activities and enhancements that will benefit the students that will come after them. Our student union building is a great example of that, where student leaders banded together, said that there was a need for that facility, and set forth the steps that made it possible for President McPhee and the administration to construct that building. And what President Ware is talking about here is paying it forward to that next class of students that will occupy that space. Let's give him and our Student Government Association a round of applause. As President McPhee said, the students must be at the center of development and projects such as these. And we rely upon student leadership in the form of on-site, in the hall assistants, living there to help run the day-to-day operations. And here to share the perspective of one of those resident advisors, please welcome Lenari Davis.
Hello, I am Lenari Davis, a junior here at MTSU and a video and film production major. I have lived at Jim Cummings Hall and Monahan Complex my 3 years here. Currently a resident assistant at Monahan, I have seen every part of the building and understand the style of traditional dorms. Womack Commons will be a unique experience or unique style of living experience for residents compared to the traditional model of the dorms. If students want a change of pace at living spaces like Jim Cummings, Corlew, Monahan, or Lyon, Womack style offers that experience. Community spaces and study rooms in the new building will be abundant, and unique room layouts will provide differing forms of communication among roommates. As MTSU students grow and change, the campus changing along with them will only be beneficial. I spoke with students on campus to find out what they are excited about for the new Womack Commons. My coworkers are interested in how being an RA will shift compared to living at Monahan. Many of the residents I've spoken to are excited to meet new people at the new dorm. A few have said that job opportunities for students, like desk assistants and RAs, will be more plentiful now. I'm especially excited about Womack Commons because of the new RAs that will be coming into the building. When I see my coworkers at Monahan, I feel welcomed and relaxed. The environment of the hall is receptive to me and other students who pass by. They also keep me motivated. That burst of energy I get when I see them keeps me thrilled to do my job. It's this same energy that carries over to the residents I talk to every day. The discussions, games, jokes, and programs I have with both the RAs and the students makes me glad to keep working at the residence halls. I know the sense of community that exists at Monahan will be at Womack, and I am ecstatic to see it carried over and built upon. My eagerness is only one part of a sea of students excited for the new Commons. With so much vigor and energy around the building's opening, I can't wait to see how students turn Womack into their own community. Womack Commons will bring an opportunity for more students to make on-campus living their home. Thank you.
Great job, Lenari. Thank you. Before I introduce our next speaker, I want to acknowledge and kind of shift gears and talk a little bit about the parking structure. I'm going to embarrass one person in the audience. There's an individual in this audience that has really, his leadership, his devotion, and his patience to our entire campus and so many things dealing with parking and transportation has been something of legend. He's been recognized by the president as Silver Column Award winner. And if you live and work here, you know who I'm about to embarrass. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to ask Ron Malone, our assistant vice president, to stand and be recognized. So helping Ron out is the Annex Group, a leading impact housing developer that creates affordable workforce, purpose-built student housing communities. As I mentioned, this private-public partnership is made possible because of them, the private part of this public-ship. The Annex Group was named developer of the project after securing MTSU's first student housing public-private partnership last year. The Annex Group is also the general contractor, facilities manager, and asset manager for this community that's about to take shape. And also, they make some pretty fine-looking shovels here, folks. I mean, wow, this is really raising our game here. And here to join the shovels up on the stage, I'm proud to ask Mr. Tom Tomaszewski, president of the Annex Group, to share his thoughts. Tom.
Thank you so much, and you know what a really beautiful day to be here, and a special day. But really, you know, as mentioned, we're an impact developer, so we like to go to places where we can not only impact the lives of our residents, but to really be a partnership in the community to create a difference not only in the residents that live there, but also the people who work and are involved in our projects, and really want to make an impact to the community and campus as a whole. When we first looked at this project, we saw the university and we saw that we had the traditional residence halls and we had apartments. But what was missing was that true sophomore experience, that on-campus experience that leads to higher student retention and really the overall college experience in general. And this project is going to provide just that. It's really beautiful, and as you've seen with everyone who is here today, these projects are a Herculean effort that take a whole lot of people coming together and a whole lot of support. And really, what we have here is something special. To have the support of the university, President, Your Honor, and the board is something special. And it takes really everybody coming together and getting behind something like this to make it happen. We've got a wonderful group together, and really want to thank a lot of separate individuals outside of the university, which first and foremost is a great support. But want to thank architect Smith G Studio, Madrone Community Development Foundation, the nonprofit owner, SCB, Barge Civil Associates, Brailsford and Dunleavy, Raymond James, and then also our internal team and everyone else on the university that's working really hand in hand together has done a wonderful job, and it's really refreshing to see everyone to come together to kind of create a beautiful project like this. So we are so honored to be a part of this, and so honored to be having this project move forward, and really want to thank everybody again, and I'm happy to be here today.
Tom, thank you. Just a couple of stats that Tom may have touched on, but I just want to underscore. This 161,000 square foot structure will include pod style and semi-suite style housing in 6, 4, and 2-person occupancy units, both single and double occupancy bedrooms with study space, lounges, kitchens, and laundry facilities. Ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be the bomb. Let's give the Annex Group a round of applause for this. So that parking garage that Ron's looking forward to, we turned to a company that's no stranger on this campus. Anecdote Architectural Experiences has done many notable projects on this campus, including the Student Services and Admissions Center just next door to the Campus Rec Center. They are also overseeing the work on Kersey Old Main, the revered mother building of this campus, that's the center of when we opened in 1911, and Rutledge Hall next to it. So here to share their role and effort in bringing about this parking garage, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the owner and principal of this great firm, Mr. Chuck Miller.
Thank you, Andrew. Good morning. Thank you, Dr. Sidney McPhee, for your leadership, Chairman Smith, the Board of Trustees, and the university leadership. Also want to, as we gather today, we want to recognize the campus planning team of Bill Waits, Jamie Brewer, Brian Dell, and Lane Merriman. And I also want to recognize the MTSU parking team, Ron Malone and Tracy Reed, for their input into this beautiful building. I want to recognize our construction partner, Barton Mallow, and also I'd also like to recognize my design team with Anecdote, Steve Johnson, Scott Wentz, and Angie Clays. This groundbreaking marks an important investment in the Middle Tennessee State University's future. While this facility will provide much-needed parking, it also represents a commitment throughout the campus planning, accessibility, and long-term stewardship of university resources. Under Dr. McPhee's leadership, MTSU continues to grow and evolve in ways to support academic excellence and student success. Projects like the P3 housing and the parking garage help ensure that the campus remains functional, welcoming, and prepared for what lies ahead. Anecdote is honored to partner with the university on this project and grateful for the collaboration that brought us to this milestone. Thank you for your trust in our vision.
You know, I mentioned the neighborhood, and if you know anything about the neighborhood we're in right now, it is growing like crazy. We have the School of Concrete and Construction Management building just across the street, and right next to it is the new Applied Engineering building. So there's a lot of folks coming to this side of campus. They're going to need places to park, so we really are going to use and appreciate that parking garage. We mentioned a couple of folks, Chuck did. I want to underscore their contributions as well. First of all, somewhere in this audience hiding that I've got to get to come a little bit closer now that he's the full-time Vice President for Business and Finance, all of these things, and marketing, transportation, and elsewhere, and making sure that the campus is run efficiently and properly, is our new Vice President for Business and Finance, Mr. Drew Harpool. He's here somewhere. Let's give him a round of applause. Chuck mentioned William Waite, Jamie Brewer, and the entire campus planning team. They are the folks that make sure all the pieces come together. Let's give them another round of applause as well. As everybody mentioned, 2027 is going to be a notable year. The parking garage is set for opening then. The hall, the new commons in the fall of 2027. Everybody stay tuned. It's going to be a project that's going to be fun to watch as it takes shape. Now, to the business at hand, which is the groundbreaking. We're not going to break ground in the Campus Rec Center. I was told to make sure that that announcement was made. These shovels are going to be moving outside, as well as us moving outside for the formal groundbreaking on the site. So at this time, I'd like the viewers on True Blue TV and others to pause as we move to that site. We'll be joining the broadcast in just a second, but this does conclude the formal speechifying part of this program. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here as a part of this historic announcement, and now we move to the groundbreaking. Thank you. This is Andrew Ottman. Welcome back to our audience on True Blue TV and everybody joining us here for the actual groundbreaking ceremony near the site of our new Wamex Commons facility. So, ladies and gentlemen, those of you on the shovels, we ask you to take it out of their holders. Come a step forward here. Don't do any digging yet. And I defer to my friend, Mr. Andy Height, who's going to be taking the photo and getting that. Let's get a shovel of dirt in there for everybody, and I'll back out of the way. Andy, let me know when you're ready for the countdown. All right, I'm going to count down from 3, and then when I say 3, you need to let some dirt fly in the air. You ready? 3, 2, 1. Do it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause. We have broken ground on this great facility. Andy, do you have what you need photo-wise? All right, we'd like our next group to join us here. If we can leave the shovels behind, we might have to augment with a few more. Will members of our Board of Trustees please come forward? Members of the Board of Trustees, looking at you there, Tom. Come on forward. Oh, okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, as we assemble our Board of Trustees, and we'll be concluding the broadcast as soon as we honor our trustees by officially marking this building. Dr. McPhee and Chairman Smith, we need Dr. McPhee. Where did my president go? There we go. Grab a shovel, Dr. McPhee. It's probably one of the few times I can tell you what to do. Right there at the end. All right, President McPhee and Chairman Smith know the drill. Grab a shovel of dirt. I'll come back from 3. 3, 2, 1. Let it fly. All right. All right, we'll have a few more photo ops here, but for our broadcast crew on TrueBlue TV, thank you for joining us, and we appreciate your viewership. Thank you. All right, ladies and gentlemen.